So I started working with these beautiful kids out of juvenile hall. I'm teaching them music. It's just wonderful. I'm having the greatest time in the world. I've discovered this whole other thing in life, besides trying to be a rock star, because I thought that was everything. 1998, I had a really great opportunity to go to San Quentin State Prison. Now, I thought I would go down for maybe a 12-week program, get enough material for a song, and go back to these little kids I'm talking to that as young as 8 years old can't wait to go to prison because that's all they know. So I signed up, talked to my wife, because in San Quentin, there's a no hostage situation. So if I'm caught in the middle of a lockdown, they're not going to negotiate my safety. It's just what it is. If you run in San Quentin State Prison, they'll shoot you. They're not going to joke. There's no joking around. There's no laughing about it. You can't wear denim to go inside because that's the cloth of the inmates. They'll never get in. They'll never let you out. And if you don't have a picture ID, you will not get out. It does not matter. So no, to go into that, I had to sign release forms. I had to take a week of classes to know what not to say or what not to ask. After I did that, the 12-week program, that when I walked in the very first second, there were thousands and thousands of songs going through my mind. Thousands. It was a sea of denim. It was unbelievable. It was Atlanta lunatics. It was the craziest thing. I now know, gentlemen, what a woman looks like. When you give them that look, and you look through them, I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. I know what it's to be intimidated and manipulated. I know the smell of prison. It's the same smell of juvenile hall. It was pretty crazy, to say the very, so crazy that I wrote a book. So I was smart enough to keep an audio tape going the whole 3.5 years. When I was done in San Quentin, I would call my wife to let her know I got out. I'll be home in about an hour. After I'm done throwing up and crying and telling my incredible stories in the tape player. I did that for 3.5 years, because none of you would believe me if I told you some of the stories. You would be shocked. Like, for instance, I'll pick the biggest guy. I'll pick on you for a second. You're a big guy. Let's say you're 18 years old and you've been picking on everybody and just being a badass. I don't know if you're an attorney or a judge, but right this for a second, I don't want to know. There's a reason for this. So you're a badass kid and you're picking on everybody. And you go now to San Quentin and I'm your cellie and you're taller than I am. And here's the deal. Either you and I are going to bend a few in a doodah room right now, or you're going to shank him, or you're going to kill yourself. You got 45 seconds to make a decision. That's it. Now, we all laugh about that. I have 8-year-old kids in Sonoma County that are just standing ready to go right now. They can't wait to go to prison. When I went to San Quentin, I'm working with guys that were shaved head, tattoos everywhere, smelling really bad, fingers all yellow from cheap cigarettes that would walk in with that. Ever see that look? And the minute they would hit that doorway, they would turn into these little teeny kids and go, Buzzy, Buzzy, are we going to do songs tonight? Oh, God, what songs are we going to play? Oh, I can't wait, oh, God. They completely dropped their whole persona. Coming in, they were bad mofos, because that's all they know. That's all they know. So I did that for 3.5 years. And I would go to all the court and community schools in juvenile hall. I wish I was still going there. But unfortunately, it seems like nobody in this world really wants me talking to kids. I bring hope and love. I bring understanding to these kids. I went down to the San Francisco Juvenile Hall 2 days ago as an invitation as an author. And I had the kids sing My Girl, like I just had all you ladies and gentlemen sing. You know what happened? The staff went, "Huh! Huh!" And I said, hey. I'm just having them be kids. They've never had that. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? Isn't that the wildest thing? They've never been allowed to be a kid. Anybody in this room ever not allowed to be a kid? My job is to unteach and unlearn all these millions of kids around the country. Because society has done a really great job of spoon-feeding all of our kids how to not succeed. All you gotta do is watch TV for a second. All you gotta do is ask my friends. All my friends will say, I say, you know what, check it out. My book is available in 40 countries. It's going into German language. I'm having people stop going to prison. It's the greatest thing in the world. My buddies go, who's playing you in the movie? They could care less. How much money did you get up front? They don't even get the fact that there's kids wanting to kill each other. I really pound the fact of education, not incarceration. I hope someday somebody's really listening to this, because we now have private prisons and we're closing down schools. They can't afford me in Sonoma County, but I know a lot of administrators are making top buck money. They drive their great cars, but they can't afford programs. That's confusing to me. So what happens is, I go to San Quentin and I learn this whole other lifestyle will be perpetuated. I see guys that they're with their boyfriend watching the band play. And I'm thinking, wow, this is incredible. It's not that they're gay, it's just companionship. Because they're selling them get along really, really well, and it's that love that they never got before. I would talk to guys in prison and say, hey, you know what, bro, that was really good. They start crying. I've never heard that before. My dad beat me with a gun. You gotta be kidding me. Just to have shake, and somebody go, wow, you did a really good job. We don't seem to do that anymore. Now, I had enough sense to at least capture this on tape. The incredible story for my wife and myself is, we took the challenge and I wrote a book by hand. I sat and I wrote the whole thing out by hand because I never used a computer in my life. I was too busy playing rock and roll trying to make a living. So in high school, who's going to do typing? I'd rather play music and chase girls. That's just what it was. I never thought about typing in my life. So I wrote this book by hand. My wife and I took the challenge, and thank God for my beautiful bride, because she has allowed me to spend every penny we had on our Visa card to put this book out, because I believed in my heart of heart that was really an important thing to do. Because when I'm seeing these guys in San Quentin that are all stinky and dirty and smelly and look terrible going, somewhere over the rainbow, and everybody's crying in the room. And I'm the only guy that's dressed like this, and everybody else is in denim or uniforms. It's crazy. So when I can come back and tell you people, we're locking people up for basically pee-pee-caca things. 85% of the people in prison are for non-violent drug, alcohol crimes. You're putting them in with pit bulls. We take kids and put them in with pit bulls. It's not right. I seen all this. I would come home every night and cry and just weep like a baby, trying to get this out to the world. So finally my wife and I take 2,000 copies of the book. My intention is to get out to every juvenile hall in the country, because I know that if these guys will buy the books, that the word will spread and I can really get this thing going. My wife and I sent out 400 books to every top facility in the country. Only one guy called me back, because I started seeing all my books on eBay. They're selling my books. Kids never got to them. You guys laugh. I'm not happy. The directors are selling the books. That didn't make me happy at all. The kids never got them. Only one guy was stupid enough to call me back and goes, son, don't ever call me again. I'm not going to read your goddamn book. These kids are my retirement. You got that, boy? That just gave me more impetus. That's when all of a sudden I meet Jim. He reads my book. I've other people read my book. This is great, man. This is really good. This needs to get out. Right? This needs to get out. I'm feeling like, this really needs to get out. I have to do this. Well, one of my friends says to me, you ought to join Facebook. What is Facebook? So last December, I joined Facebook. Within 1 month, I had 1,000 people on my Facebook. All guitar players from around the world. Make a really long story short, my friend said, this could be a movie. I don't care about a movie. I just want to get in juvenile halls. Well, through the grace of Facebook and a lot of prayers, in April, my wife and I signed 2 contracts. Thank God for Brad DeMayo. Now, Judge Brad DeMayo, that's kind of weird to say. I know it's not for you weird to say, but and you're really proud, but it's just, even calling him judge is kind of weird. He makes me call him judge in my office when I'm giving him guitar lessons. It's so ridiculous. God, he wears his robe and everything. So, we brokered 2 deals. So it is true, my book now is available in 40 countries on Penguin Berkeley Books. The movie's going to start being filmed, and right about in April, I wish I could tell you all the names, but I really can't because they're all in this contract, this whole legal thing that, you guys know, you're lawyers and judges. So at any rate, I have discovered that there's a whole world of at-risk kids out there that absolutely need help. Nobody gives them help. Everybody gives lip service. Nobody gives them help. I find myself talking to people over and over and over and over and go, God, Buzzy, that's great, man. Oh my God, that's so wonderful. You know, I heard you on the radio and I read your article. Could you come talk to our kids in the school? I said, absolutely, I would love to talk to your kids. Absolutely. Have you read my book? Well, I'm not going to read your book. Do you have a budget for me to come talk? I'm not going to pay you. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? Are you telling me that you have no budget for me to come talk to kids to save every kid in this room's life? And it means nothing to you? Well, they don't say yes, but basically that's my answer. You could ask my wife, no one calls me back. All I got to ask them is two questions. Have you read my book? Are you going to pay me a couple of dollars? Because I can't do it for free. I volunteered at juvenile hall for 17 years for free. Nobody ever paid me. They loved me. They would love me now if I went back out. They're screaming for me to come back out. Pay you? No way! Put your book in the library? No way! Well, come on. What are we doing, right? Now, you guys realize Sonoma County has no gang problem. There's no gang problems around the world, really, because it doesn't sound great. This is why I work with kids. This is why I mentor kids. This is why I play music for kids.